Whoa. We're going to give it a few moments for everybody to join. Welcome to the live. Well, I have some apples. This is like my own concoction, y'all. Look at this. Apples. Almond butter. We got some almond butter in the mix. You can see. A little bit of almond butter. And then I threw some granola in the mix. I was thinking about doing again some garlic. Because, apples and garlic. But not like mix it in here. But I put it on some toast, or French bread with some fresh crushed garlic. But I didn't have any French bread. So we had to pass on that one today. But I'm noticing that this is a very well, let's just say I don't feel as full. Hello there, Ninja. Welcome, everybody. Let me tell you what, man. Something was definitely up with YouTube yesterday. Without a shadow of doubt, there was a problem with YouTube. Well, everything went down, pretty much. There was a big outage. Well, this is a Q&A today, so this is a Q&A, so there's a lot of things happening in the world right now. And again, I'm not going to say certain things, but I'll say certain things at the same time. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but things have got cleared up in the sky. Let's just say that. There's no more what you would call trails in the sky. And I just heard this the other day. And if you noticed, I went walking this morning and there was nothing. And I'm outside right now and there's absolutely nothing in the sky, which is a positive thing. It means we're winning. The light is winning. And the things that are happening are actually happening for a purpose and a reason. And man, I'll tell you what. I've been wondering since I was a little kid what those trails in the sky was. I know it was chemicals, but I kept questioning and asking, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Who's doing it? Could not get the answer, man. Until I would have to say, not too long ago, I finally got the answer. And it's an organization, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, but from what I understand, it's an organization connected to the GOV, connected to the Pentagon. I've heard that joke many, many times already, also. Maybe it's more like he looks like me. It's more like it. But let me tell you what, man. If you look up at the skies, man, they are clear. They are blue. There is nothing in the sky. And there's not this BS that they would tell you, oh, yeah, it's condensation. It's condensation happening, man. I've spent so much time outside in nature, and let me tell you what. If you watch commercial planes, there's nothing behind it. Okay, and the if you watch the patterns of these individuals, and you spend time out there, and you spend time in stillness, you will question everything, and you will begin to question everything, and that's what's happening to humanity right now. Where humanity's waking up and beginning to question everything. Everything's been a lie, and it's all coming to the light. Finally. So if you guys got questions, man, drop it in the chat. Anything. Of course, be respectful and kind and all that jazz. And at the same time, tap the like button. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you all. But yeah, man, freedom, liberation is coming for all of humanity. It really, truly is, man. And this is a sign right here, man. I heard someone say it the other day that, and I heard this months ago, because JFK was talking about it finally on mainstream media. And interestingly enough, before my dad passed in 2022, he approached somebody and he was asking them if they knew what was going on and blah, 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 in the skies, the trails and what have you. And the person said, no, that's condensation. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you kidding me? And, at the time he was like telling me I needed to go to like the news station and talk about it. I'm like, they're not gonna put that on the news. That's almost talking about, that you're talking to like spirit, and telling random people that you're hearing voices and not expect in the 70s to be put in a straitjacket and locked up, Man, I tell you what, I'm just seeing more and more people's stories align with my story. That you couldn't really talk about any of these things and that you were suppressed. And, people would make fun of it and they'd say, oh, yeah, those are skywriters and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, really? Like, do you not realize, like, your food's being poisoned? You're being poisoned? Like, when are you going to wake up and realize this? Like, the way we've been living is not for our highest good and has not been for our highest good in any way, shape, or form. It's only been about money. It's only been about making money off of you in some way, shape, or form and keeping everyone else suppressed. And if you didn't have, and, I remember in the 80s, people would talk about, oh, if you have a connection in the music industry, like you can get to the top, and maybe even if you do things like women do things or even men, you can get to the top, and it was always about like you having some sort of connection. And it's like, whatever happened to like people coming together and helping one another? If you got to the top and you did it in a way that was, you had morale. I think that's the word they're trying to get me to use. If you did it in a good way, let's use that word, I don't know. then why wouldn't you share how you did it, what you did, you know? But it was like when I was living in Florida, man, everything was like a secret, man. Everybody was secretive about how they made their money, what they did, how they healed. It's like instead of like helping other people, out of suffering, like, hey man, like this worked for me. Maybe you could try it. But the ways that were being helped was on social media, and most of them were scams. Oh yeah, you could you could do this job and work from home. I remember like in the 90s and like, well, not the 90s, but the early 2000s and like 2010 and around those years, I was looking for like work from home jobs, and the only thing you could find was these companies. Grand Rising Wolf. I just want to say, man, yesterday YouTube was so weird, and like I went live twice and I put titles on and there was like literally nobody showed up, and I thought I was on like the wrong channel. And then come to find out, like all these different organizations went down, like Amazon, and Gaia was glitching. Amazon was glitching. My T-Mobile service was glitching. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting very close to this emergency broadcast system. EBS is coming. We're getting close to disclosure. Everything is starting to fall apart, and we are getting very, very close. And I know that all the systems that went down yesterday were tests, because they will be pulling the switch very, very soon. And I know Grey Wolf knows what I'm talking about. So I forgot what I was referring to now, what I was talking. Oh yeah. So like in the 90s or like the mid 2000s, I was looking for like a work from home job. And it was like the only thing you could find was people trying to scam you, trying to like get you to sign up for some membership thing, and then they'd find you a work from home job. But then there was tons and tons of people that were actually doing it, but wouldn't share how they got it or where they got it from, you know? And that's the thing, I've always questioned why people don't come together and help one another. Like, okay, if you have this secret of, like, you have this, I don't know, you're like cash cow that you're working for, that you're barely doing anything. Why don't you share it with other people? You know, um, why don't you share how you healed with other people? Have you noticed, Grey Wolf? I was talking about this before you got on. Have you looked up at the skies? There's no more trails. I know people were saying like yesterday and the day before they saw it like in Tennessee and stuff. I was too. But today there's absolutely nothing. And from what I'm hearing, they're going to be gone. We weren't meant to keep these things to ourselves. We were meant to help others. We were meant to share it. You know, if you figured out this way to like win the race, you know, like you train a certain way. It's like all about like, you got to pay me to do it. You got to do this. You got to do that. It's like, not to say people don't have to survive. I'm not saying that, or they have to not, I don't want to even use the word survive, but pay bills, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, man, if you have knowledge, you're meant to share it. If you've gone through things, you're meant to share it and help others, you know? And we weren't meant to keep it to ourselves, you know? So I made this concoction. It's honey crisp apples with organic honey crisp apples with almond butter and granola. And it's really good. So we're now going through the process of people waking up by the thousands. And they're starting to question everything. They're starting to be like, nah, man, there's got to be something more to life than I've been told, man. Something, man, is not what it seems to be. And we're beginning to start to want to have answers, to want to understand this. Basically, people are waking up and coming out of spells. The spells that they've been living in for so long. And I don't disagree with you, Dara. I don't disagree with you, ma'am. I don't disagree with you at all, man. That is the one key thing that they've kept us separated from. They don't want you to connect to God. That's why there's so many people walking around confused and lost and struggling because they don't have that relationship with God. And it's been made something out of religion. Like, your religion if you connect with God. Oh, like, and a lot of us are breaking down paradigms that we've had from when we were kids with the things that we've gone through and then asking God for help, and then God didn't deliver in the way that we thought God should deliver. And so a lot of us are breaking through that to then remember who we are and to reconnect back to God. And why do you think so many are suffering? Because exactly what you're saying, Darth, you're spot on, man. You grew up surrounded by secular people and what? Oh, peculiar. I think you said you meant to say peculiar people, and was always made fun of for believing in God. Yeah, I'm sure that's what I mean exactly. So then, what did you do? Did you turn your back on God, or did you get closer to God because of that? Circular is non-religious. Okay, I've never heard that term before. Interesting. So did you come closer? Wow, interesting. Most of us didn't. Most of us went as far away as we could because it wasn't cool as a kid to, like, um give me 1 second, man. I have to sign for something real quick. I'm gonna just mute this for 1 second, all right? Don't go anywhere, guys. I'll be right back. Never mind, not yet. Maybe next till we come in here next. I don't know. We'll see. If so, I'll just have to mute it real quick and sign for something, and I'll be right back. But anyways, interestingly enough, I separated myself because it's like all the things that I went through. I've always been a contrarian, never like going with the flow to fit in. Me either. Me either. But as a kid, I did try to, and it just never worked. So I ended up leaning on drugs and alcohol and trying to fit in, but not really able to fit in. It was like, oh, okay, hold up. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. It's interesting because most tried to fit in. Most of us light workers tried to fit in, but it just never worked. Um, and I found myself going farther away, which a lot of us did in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. Um, but everybody's different, you know? And I'm glad that you did. Um, most people didn't. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I apparently that was meant to be my journey, you know, so I can teach others. Um, you know, I was taught that you had to do everything yourself and you had to work hard and you had to take action. When the simplest thing, it was connecting to God, giving it up to God. And I watch my dad, and I talk about this all the time. Yet my dad had this strong belief, but he didn't teach me that. I don't think he knew how to, but he just had the belief. And that's why he healed from cancer in 94, 97, and fourth stage cancer that he was told he had a week to live, you know? And when I went through it quite a few times, when I hit rock bottom, he kept telling me you have to believe. And I didn't understand what the hell that meant. I didn't know how to. So I went through all these hard times to get closer back to God, to actually go through the process of developing a connection and a relationship on a daily basis so I can teach it. And the contrast was so different. Wow, yeah. Yeah, see, that's what's interesting, man. That's what people don't realize. The only reason they're lost is due to the fact that there's a disconnection from source, from God. But it's like we're so distracted, we're kept to be they want us to be distracted. They want us to be confused and lost because then we're in fear and easily controlled. And I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Darth. Um I have to say most would not most when something like that happens so recent, man, that's when people turn from God. And in fact, you actually came closer, which is very, very different than the masses. Most people would, you know, actually have anger towards God, like I had when I was younger as a kid. So I applaud you for that, man. And it just proves that you have big things to do here on the planet, my friend. Mm, that's not an easy thing to go through, man. And like I said, there's a reason, obviously. Um, you're a very strong individual, clearly. And apparently, God knows that. Obviously, God knows that because God knows everything. Um, Let me just say this. I'm going to see what time it is, by the way, because, okay, I don't have too much longer before I have to go. But I want to say this. What is happening to humanity right now? And if you have the ability to pull yourself away from all these things in the 3D on the world stage happening, then do so. Because it is so important right now to find stillness. Yeah, but there's a reason for it. And we're moving beyond that because we came down here to eradicate the dark and to bring light onto the planet. And that's exactly what's happening. And that's what I was just talking about the trails in the sky. All of these things has happened to keep us suppressed, to keep us confused, to keep us lost, to keep us away from our gifts and our abilities, to keep us from God. Because if every single one of us had that connection to God and had our third eye wide opened and our psychic senses amplified, man, we'd be not living in the world we're living in currently. And it's not supposed to be this way. And now humanity it just can't be stopped anymore. It's happening. They're cleaning up all the dark everywhere. And it's going to be very soon where there's going to be disclosure happening in a big way, where we're going to start finding out all the lies that we've been told, all the things they've been doing, all the suppression, all the poisoning, just everything. It's all to keep you in the matrix, to keep you confused and lost and sick. So you die early. But they want you to stay in the system. This is changing though, because now we're human. There's too many of us that realize that know that when you connect back to source, to God, man, nothing can stop you. You are so powerful. And the more we move forward, what is going to happen is things are going to happen around us. And look, man, I don't put anybody in fear. That's not my point, man. The point of me and Luna's New Earth School and this channel and everything else is to give you awareness, to assist you in remembering who you are, why you're here, what you came here to do. And the fact of the matter is, you're more powerful if you're aware and self-empowered by knowing. So knowing that things are going to start collapsing all around us and crumbling, only to bring us back to God. And the things that we're going to continue to go through are going to be things that you cannot go ask somebody like your friend or your partner or a brother or a sister or a doctor. It's going to be something that you have to go straight to God, that you have to ask God, that you have to speak with your higher self, that you have to develop that relationship with God. Exactly, Darth. I mean, let me tell you what, man, most people would have not surrendered like I've had to surrender, like I've had to give up everything. And the things I've gone through, most people would have ran to a doctor, ran to a hospital, probably gone on medication, all kinds of different things that I have not done. And let me tell you, like I said, in 2017 and 2020 was the point when I really was brought to my knees and I was crying out for God. And it's sad that that's the state that we have to go through at this point, where people have to be brought to their knees to then find God again. Because it's usually the moment when you don't want to suffer any longer, when you finally say enough is enough. That's when people go back to religion, go back to God, Jesus, their higher self, every aspect of it. And sadly, that's the way we've had to learn, but it's changing. And there's a lot going on that has been against humanity's free will. Like I've said already, the suppression of, infiltrating our thoughts, and the suppression of, with poisoning and all. I can go on and on. Again, a lot of this I can't go in depth about on here. I will talk more about it in our New Earth School, Rip into Light on school. On here I have to kind of, watch certain things that I say. But liberation is coming, y'all. I promise you. I've seen it since I was a little kid. We're getting there, and we're finally this close. Like this close. But yeah, yes. They're putting into the kids the not only that, but the programming that they're doing. Fortunately, the kids that are incarnating now cannot be programmed any longer. And they're coming in with a lot of light. That's why a lot of them have so much energy, and they're like bouncing around like a Mexican jumping bean. I remember those when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys remember those things, man, Mexican jumping beans, but a lot of kids are like that. I used to have those. Not only kids, but the dogs too, and the animals, man. They have so much energy. They're coming in with so much light. They're coming in with more DNA strands activated already. This great awakening cannot be stopped. And when I tell you, I know this for a fact, because I grew up around it. I grew up where I couldn't talk to anybody about these things for the vast majority of my life. Only it has been since the last few years, probably I would say really since 2020. Before 2020, man, I couldn't talk about no spaceships and aliens and extraterrestrials, and I saw a spaceship, and even talk about the things being the trails in the sky. I mean, people just did not understand it, nor did they want to hear it. Most people wanted to talk about surface level stuff like the weather and yeah, it did. And 2025 is about to flip another switch because we're going through a split. We're going through a bifurcation of timelines. There's going to only be 2 timelines left, and humanity's going to have to make a choice. Which do you choose? The artificial transhumanistic timeline, or are you going to choose the organic timeline, which is the connection to God? And the people that will choose the transhumanistic timeline are going to be the ones that don't have a connection with God and don't want to and don't plan to. That's why a lot of us are realizing and reconnecting and redeveloping our relationship with God. Like I said, humanity is going to be left with a choice very, very soon, where we're going to have to choose which road we want to take. Hey, Daniel, what's going on, man? Welcome to the live. So, I know a large part of my purpose is bringing awareness, is assisting people, planting seeds, awakening people to the fact that there's more to life than you've been told. Things are changing, and they're changing very, 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 very fast. And that's okay, because this is what we've all been asking for. The reason we're all here at this time is because we called this in. I can tell you right now, majority of, you know what? I hope you're having a great day too, man. And thank you for putting it in caps. Sending you a lot of love, man. And tap that like button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you for being here at this time, for choosing to be here, because we all chose it. Oh. We just got to let go of what has happened and move forward and open our hearts and trust. Put our trust in God. Put our trust in the process. Put our trust in the process that's unfolding, because God has our best interest at heart. Like I said, so many people feel like they've been burned because, well, they never gave it enough time before they quit and said, you know what, this is not going to happen. And then they quit. And then they gave up right before it was going to happen. And I was shown that so many times as I was walking when I was going through it. And I was shown, like, people give up right before they turn the corner. Like, they reach the stop sign and then they quit right before right before that right turn is it. That's where the miracles unfold. That's where God was going to heal you. That's where, you know what I mean? And like, people lose their faith because it's taking too long, or it's not happening the way they think it should, or they have an expectation. Yeah, I mean, well, you know what? You know what the first step is? And I'm going to tell you the answer right now, Darth. This is the answer. It's not yours. You don't need to take that on. Give it to God. Let God take it from you. And God will. But you have to trust. It's so simple, man. Yet it's not. Because you literally have to give it to God and say, take this from me. Take this resentment from me. I no longer want this. I no longer need this. It's not serving my highest and greatest good any longer. Please take this from me, God. And then you have to fully surrender. I mean, fully surrender, with no doubt, no questioning. It could take 5 years. It could take 10 years. It could take a week. But letting go of when it's going to happen and really fully believing that it's gone. And then in an instant, God will take it. And that's how simple it is, man. Yet it's not. That's how simple it is to give a disease up to God, to give a challenge, a physical challenge, to give a health challenge, to give, you know, whatever you're experiencing, financial troubles. People don't want to ask because we've been taught, we've been conditioned not to ask for help. We got to do it all ourselves. You're not a man if you ask for help. You're not strong if you ask for help. You're doing it all yourself. No, that's not the case. That's the ego wanting to believe that you're doing it all. When in fact you're not. You're being led and guided every step of the way. God's animating you. That breath that you're breathing is God's breath. You just got to trust the process. You have to trust the way it unfolds with no expectations, with no judgment. You're right. It's how I got past resenting my father. The world just gets overwhelming. I see the hate spewed and I get fed up. Yeah, we all do, man. You're not alone in that. We all do. Promise you that. Why do you think I come on here every day, man? Why do you think I go live? Why do you think I talk about these things, man? Because I want to see change in the world. I know we can get to a better place. I know we're supposed to. I've seen visions. God has shown me visions. And I know I'm here for this. I know I'm here to reach people globally, to remind you, because it's so easy to forget. And it's so easy to get in the habit of not asking because that's the way we've been taught. And yet, it's so easy and simple, yet it's not. Because the hardest part is allowing the ego to surrender it, allowing the ego to let go while God works his magic. And because we can't see it happening and we don't know how far along it is, that's when we begin to doubt and question. And we don't trust. Robert, Grand Rising brother, that's when we begin to get fed up. We begin to get frustrated. We begin to, like, I cannot tell you how frustrated I've been over the last, since I was a kid, but I mean, imagine waking up at 7 years old, man, okay? Imagine waking up at 7 and seeing the world for what it is. Everything. The government's corrupted. The medical system's corrupted. The financial system's corrupted. Imagine seeing everything, seeing that you're getting poisoned, seeing, as a young kid, my dad had a water filtration system that he was clearing out that had all kinds of chemicals in it. As a kid, he would go in there and change the tank, and it would be filthy, and it would be dirty, and it would be brown and yellow from feces, and we'd be drinking this water. And seeing this as a young kid, man, talk about being frustrated, man, with the government and with the way things are, and like nothing is transparent, and knowing that there's more to life than you've been told, knowing that things are being hidden from you. 47 years of frustration, of seeing all this for what it is, from when I was a little kid. So I've had to surrender it all. I've had to let go of it. I've had to know that I'm here to, that all of this is a catalyst to wake people up, that not everything is for me. Not everything is for you. To see, even though we're seeing it, it doesn't mean that it's meant for you. It doesn't mean it's meant for me. But it's a reminder to bring us back to God. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't, Robert, at all. Yeah, I don't. I don't. Because I know that there's good and there's bad. I know that we're eradicating the dark. I know that humanity has gotten to a point where, oh yeah, I mean, humanity has got to a point where we're at we're at the last straw. We're like, we're not going to take this shit anymore. We're not going to take the manipulation, the greed, the mistrust, the non-transparency. Like, we're us as a society are way bigger than any of the governments that are and have been trying to control society and humanity. We're way bigger. Yes, yes, it is. It is. And you know what? We've allowed it. We've allowed it. And we can't be, and it's 10-10, man. We got 10 people on here and 10 people like the live. We have to take responsibility for the fact that we have allowed it. We've allowed it to get to the point that it's at, whether it be in this life or past lives. We've all played, and it's hard to hear. It's hard to actually accept that. Not many will actually accept that. But the fact of the matter is, we all played a role in it, in getting it to the point that it's at currently. Again, there is nefarious dark forces, dark energy doing a lot of things and controlling the planet for thousands of years. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? I mean, me too, Darth. Trust me. And yeah, I mean, no one wants to actually take, take responsibility, uh, you know, for even the things that they even do in their own daily lives. Raise our kids, educate ourselves. Yes, and you know what the joke of it all is, Robert, is the fact of the matter is we weren't taught anything but what we were taught. We were taught all these lies in school and the programming and conditioning, and what do you expect? We didn't learn how to breathe properly, like I've talked about a million times. We didn't learn how to eat properly. We didn't learn how to be in stillness. We were taught how to distract. We were taught how to overstimulate and over sexualize people. We were taught how to gravitate towards pornography at a young age. We were taught all these different things that have not created an advanced human. And the one biggest thing that we weren't taught was connecting to God. How to connect to God. Um, Government telling, oh yeah, okay. The fracture and the military are about the only necessary government. Yeah, yeah, and that's what's happening now. Actually, and as we go forward, we're not going to have a government anymore. We're going to have, which is already happening. I mean, look how many days the government's been closed. We're moving into a galactic council. Once humanity has contact from higher dimensional beings, we're going to be we're going to govern ourselves. The military is just going to be around, but we're going to govern ourselves, and we can do it, and we will, because everybody's going to be on an equal playing field when we switch from the financial systems that we're in to the new financial systems, which are quantum financial systems, which I can talk more about all this stuff if you guys want me to. We will be moving to a galactic council. Well, you are fortunate, Robert. I mean, I was and I wasn't, and I got lost and disconnected from God at a very very young age, especially when I woke up and started seeing the world the way it was. That was when I think I really disconnected, because I was like, why is there so much suffering and lies and all this stuff happening in the world? Like, why can't God just flip a switch and change it all if he's this powerful? And these are the things I started questioning. Oh yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, and I think that was a conditioning aspect too. Nah, man, God never turns his back, man. Never. School is supposed to teach us how to be workers, but I find it does the opposite. We used to do we used to go to work with our parents. Interesting. Well, I don't even think they do that, man. They teach us crap that doesn't even matter. Yeah, the lessons God is teaching us is why we're going through so much suffering, is to come back to God. Is to come back to God. Um, but listen, guys, I really want to continue this topic, man. Maybe I'll go live later today. I got to get on because I'm going to actually sit with God for a little bit. in stillness. I've joined this 40-day sitting with God, and it's been the most amazing thing. And this is the second class I'm doing, and it's on Zoom, and it's so powerful. And me and Luna are gonna bring it to the masses, and we're gonna be doing it, and we're gonna help people to remember. And yeah, things are changing, man. I see it in the skies. I see it in the skies. They're clear. They're blue. They're shiny. There's no trails. It's a sign as to where we are and where we're headed, man. You know? Um, hey, Mike. What's good? What's good? Hey, Tristan. I hope you guys got a chance to catch the live. I got to head out of here, but if you didn't, I would appreciate you tapping the like button and subscribing to the channel, man. We'll definitely continue this. I think I'm going to do a Q&A like a couple times a week, because it allows for people to oh, I got you. Cool. I'm glad I said it right. Well, I appreciate you, man. And I hope you guys got a chance to watch the last 50 minutes of this live, because it was really powerful and God was speaking through me. You've been subbed. I was in a couple of lives a few months ago. Okay, I got you. Cool. Nice to see you too, man. The familiar says you're both my sons. You stay and I give you everything. He comes home, I give him what I give you. Oh, that's beautiful. Christian, a father has two sons. Yeah, I'm gonna have to screenshot this because I gotta get going, guys. But anyway, listen, I love you all, man, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of our tribe. I appreciate you all, man. Luna appreciates you. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you on the next live, on the next video, or somewhere around the world, man. Until then, man, like, comment, and subscribe. And put your questions below these videos, man, so I can make a long list of questions, and we can do Q&As answering all your questions. I love you all, man. We are returning back to liberation and freedom, man. I promise you that. Just keep your head up, man. Stay in your heart. Spread love. And man, we will change the world together. We're ushering in the new earth, the golden age, man. I promise you that. I love you all. Like, subscribe, and comment, man. See you soon. Love you too, Tristan. Love you, Robert. Love you, Darth. Love you all, man. See you soon.